I wrote this op-ed for NBC, and it was, it was about like me going to a racist audition and me walking out, and in that article, what was important for me was not just complaining. I was like, okay, well, what can I do? And like the solution I can think about is I need to create my own content, right? I need to create my own art, and not ask for permission. So in that article, I said, yeah, you know what? I'm going to make this film. It's going to be called Gook. It's going to be about the LA riots, and that's my contract with you guys that are reading this. So I was on the line. So I wrote this op-ed talking about this racist audition, but it wasn't just complaining. I was like, this is my plan. This is what I'm going to do. And that's what I did. I fulfilled my promise. But I feel the faster way to change things are not from the top down, it's from the bottom up. So I feel like, grassroots, from the community, supporting our own artists, authored by our own voices is a much more effective way than waiting for a huge corporation to change. It just takes way too long. So I'll start with the riots, because we have a bunch of high school kids here today, and I don't know, were you guys born before or after 1992? Okay, so after. It was like, okay, there's so much racial tension that Korean businesses went up in flames as well. But not only Korean businesses, also African American businesses, the whole neighborhood just went up in flames. So that's a little bit of background about the LA riots, which is the backdrop of this film. In terms of the name of, Gook, in the Korean language, Gook means country. It also means soup. But it means country, So, when the GIs came to the Korean War, during the early 50s, the GIs would come and they would say, Migook saram, right? And that means America, right? American person or America. That directly translated, Migook means beautiful country. And they took half of that word and they made it into a racial slur. And then that carried all over to the Vietnam War. And, it was a derogatory term that's still used to this day. What's crazy is a lot of, younger kids, they don't even know what that word means. And that's not okay. Yeah, it's just impossible to raise money for a film like this. It's just, diverse, voice-driven films, like, they just don't think it's bankable. That's why, to applaud you guys, that's why it's so important that you guys show up for this stuff. Because if you don't, it gives Hollywood a reason not to finance these films.
Again, they're just destroying everything. So we lost actually a restaurant. I don't know, my kids think I'm going to embarrass them, but I own Wahoo's. And we lost our store up there. And the beginning of the riots was about black and white, but it ended with yellow and black because it was a war zone. We were shooting each other just to protect ourselves. But me, I left. I decided to come back to Orange County, but it was pretty scary. So that's why it became easy to blame the Koreans, because they were on the rooftop with shotguns, and you can see that on live TV. So it was much easier. It goes, oh, that's how this. So it began on a different note and ended completely different. And it took a while to fix that, a long time.
Yeah.
So.